There's a silent saboteur operating within your mind, one that works so subtly, so effectively, you're likely unaware of its constant campaign against your own sense of accomplishment. It's not an external critic or a jealous rival. No, this saboteur is an inside job, a feature of your own incredible adaptive brain. Picture this. You've poured heart and soul into a project, a new skill, a personal challenge. You cross the finish line, perhaps not with a resounding boom, but with a quiet sense of completion. And then, almost immediately, the achievement dissolves into the background of your everyday, becoming just another thing you've done, another part of your normal. That, my friends, is the work of this invisible force. This phenomenon, often unacknowledged, is what we might call progress blindness, or the baseline shift. It's the mental mechanism that ensures you're constantly adapting, constantly striving. Your brain, in its relentless pursuit of efficiency, recalibrates your definition of normal with every new peak you conquer. Think back to learning to drive a car. Those first few hours were a maelstrom of concentration, a juggling act of mirrors, pedals, and steering. Now, for many, it's an almost unconscious act. Or, consider mastering a complex piece of software for work. The initial frustration, the painstaking learning curve, now replaced by fluid, almost instinctive navigation. What was once a monumental effort becomes just Tuesday. This isn't a flaw in your design, it's a feature. Your brain is built to automate, to integrate, to move on to the next challenge. It files away solved problems and mastered skills so efficiently that it forgets the struggle, the sweat, the sheer determination it took to get there. It's like an operating system that, after a successful update, doesn't keep reminding you of the older, clunkier version. It simply presents the new, improved interface as the standard. And while this adaptive quality is crucial for survival and growth, it comes with a significant, often painful side effect. The true cost of this progress blindness is a pervasive, gnawing sense that you're not doing enough, not achieving enough, not being enough. It can breed the insidious imposter syndrome, making you feel like a fraud even when surrounded by evidence of your competence. It fuels unhelpful comparisons with others, because you're measuring your entire, messy, behind-the-scenes journey against their curated highlight reel. And perhaps most tragically, it robs you of the joy and reinforcement that comes from acknowledging your own hard-won victories. You are, in essence, unintentionally devaluing the very growth you've strived so hard to attain, constantly moving the goalposts on yourself without ever pausing to see how far you've truly run. But what if I told you there's a way to pierce through this fog, to reclaim the narrative of your own progress? What if you could finally see with clarity the remarkable advancements you've made, advancements that are, right now, hiding in plain sight? That journey of rediscovery begins now. The truth is, evidence of your growth is all around you, often masquerading as simple, everyday occurrences. Your mind, in its quest for a constantly updated normal, has become adept at overlooking these crucial signposts. But we are about to shine a spotlight on them, to reveal the undeniable proof of your progress that has been patiently waiting for your attention. Let's begin with something rather telling. Consider the instances when others, colleagues, friends, even family members, seek your counsel or assistance. What specific topics do they approach you about? Is it technical troubleshooting, relationship advice, creative brainstorming, or perhaps strategic planning? The very act of others identifying you as a go-to person in a particular domain is a powerful external validation of competence you've accumulated, often without conscious recognition. You might dismiss it thinking, "Oh, anyone could figure that out," or "I just know a little bit about that." But the reality is, people don't randomly solicit guidance. They are drawn to perceived expertise, to a capability they recognize in you, even if you yourself have normalized it to the point of invisibility. This isn't just about being helpful. It is a reflection of skills you have diligently honed over time. Now, let us turn our attention inward, to the mountains you have already scaled. Take a moment, a genuine pause, and conduct what we might call a historical challenge inventory. List 3 to 5 significant problems, personal or professional, that you grappled with and successfully navigated within the last 1 to 2 years. These were not minor hurdles. These were the issues that consumed your thoughts, that perhaps kept you awake at night. What specific steps did you take? What new knowledge or skills did you acquire in the process? What internal shifts in perspective or resilience occurred? You might find, as many do, that the sharp edges of these past struggles have dulled in your memory. This is the solved problem amnesia at work. Your brain, having catalogued the solution, downplays the original difficulty, effectively airbrushing the effort from your internal record. Yet, revisiting these past victories provides irrefutable data points of your growth, your capacity to learn, adapt, and overcome. Each conquered challenge is a testament to an upgraded version of yourself. Furthermore, consider the evolution of your responses to adversity, to stress, to the unexpected curveballs life invariably throws. This is an evolving resilience test. How do you handle a setback or a piece of criticism today compared to a year or two ago? Do you find yourself recovering more quickly emotionally? Are you less prone to catastrophizing and more inclined to seek solutions proactively? Perhaps you engage difficult conversations with a little more poise, or navigate uncertainty with a steadier hand. These are not accidental changes. They are indicators of an enhanced emotional intelligence, a strengthened mental fortitude. This is micro-recovery in action, the subtle yet significant improvements in your ability to bounce back, to regulate your emotions, and to maintain your composure under pressure. Each instance where you handle a stressful situation better than you once would have is a clear marker of your internal development. Finally, let us explore the quietly expanding boundaries of your comfort zone. This expanded territory assessment reveals another layer of your growth. Think about activities, decisions, or interactions that once filled you with apprehension or outright fear. Perhaps it was public speaking, networking with strangers, initiating difficult conversations, or making bold career moves. Which of these, if any, now feel more manageable, more natural, or even routine? The very tasks that once felt like walking a tightrope may now feel like a casual stroll, not because the tasks themselves have become easier, but because you have become more capable. This silent expansion of your operational sphere is a direct result of accumulated courage and competence. Each time you step beyond a previously held limitation, you are not just performing an action, you are redrawing the map of what is possible for you. The forgotten evidence is plentiful once you know where and how to look. Simply knowing that your brain tends to overlook progress is insightful, but insight alone rarely translates into lasting change. To truly counteract this inherent bias, we need more than passive awareness. We need active, intentional strategies to illuminate your genuine path of development. This involves a shift from merely thinking about your growth to systematically gathering and evaluating the evidence of it. It is about equipping yourself with the tools to become an accurate archivist of your own achievements, both large and small. Let us begin with the profound impact of intentional documentation. The human memory, for all its marvels, is a notoriously unreliable narrator, prone to revisionism and selective recall. Relying solely on mental recollection to track your progress is like trying to navigate a vast ocean with a faulty compass. This is where the practice of maintaining a growth journal or an accomplishment log becomes invaluable. This is not a diary of daily frustrations, but a dedicated record of your victories, your breakthroughs, the skills you've honed, the positive feedback you've received, and the lessons you've learned, even from setbacks. Documenting your journey, the milestones reached and the obstacles overcome, provides a tangible, irrefutable counter-narrative to the feeling of stagnation. Research consistently shows that the act of writing, of translating thoughts and experiences into concrete words, significantly enhances self-awareness and provides a powerful tool for reflection and personal development. Do not underestimate the clarity that emerges when you physically record your advancement. With this foundation of intentional documentation, we can begin to craft what I call your personal growth map. This is not a rigid set of rules, but a flexible framework for identifying and categorizing your development across various life domains. Imagine a system, let's call it the Realize framework, designed to bring your hidden progress into sharp focus. Each letter represents a key area to explore. R stands for refined skills. What specific abilities, technical or interpersonal, have you noticeably improved or newly acquired? E represents evolved behaviors. What positive habits have you successfully cultivated, or detrimental ones have you managed to diminish or discard? R is for adversity conquered. What significant challenges, internal or external, have you met head-on and moved beyond? Learn signifies learned insights. What new perspectives, understandings, or aha moments have broadened your worldview or deepened your self-knowledge? I invite you to consider impact made. What positive influence, however small it may seem, have you had on others, on projects, or on your environment? Z encourages you to note zestful moments or zealous pursuits. Where have you found renewed energy, passion, or successfully pushed beyond previous boundaries in areas you care about? And finally, E reminds you of external affirmations. What specific positive feedback or recognition have you received from credible sources that corroborates your growth? Using a structured approach like Realize transforms the abstract notion of progress into concrete, observable data points. Beyond your own observations, the value of objective feedback cannot be overstated. We are often the least reliable judges of our own capabilities, clouded by self-doubt, or, conversely, blind spots. Actively seeking constructive input from trusted individuals, be it mentors, supervisors, discerning colleagues, or even insightful friends, can provide an invaluable external mirror. The key is to ask specific questions. Instead of a vague, "How am I doing?" try, "In what areas have you seen the most significant development in my approach over the past year?" Or, "What skills do you think I've particularly strengthened recently?" This targeted inquiry encourages concrete examples and offers perspectives you might have entirely missed. Finally, it's crucial to understand the subtle yet powerful dynamic of compounding gains. Much like financial investments, small, Consistent improvements in your skills, habits, and mindset accumulate over time, often leading to exponential growth that isn't immediately apparent on a day-to-day basis. Each new skill learned can unlock new opportunities. Each positive habit can create a ripple effect of well-being. Recognizing how these seemingly minor advancements interconnect and build upon each other reveals a far more impressive trajectory than you might initially perceive. By deliberately documenting, structuring your reflections, seeking external perspectives, and appreciating the compounding nature of your efforts, you begin to illuminate the true, often underestimated, arc of your personal and professional development. This is not about vanity, it is about accuracy, about giving yourself the credit you are genuinely due. As you begin to accurately perceive and document your progress, a new and perhaps counterintuitive understanding of your current challenges will emerge. You may notice that the nature of the obstacles you now face, the complexity of the problems you are now tasked to solve, has evolved significantly from those of your past. This is not a sign of regression or failure, quite the opposite. The very sophistication of your current dilemmas is often a direct reflection of the heightened level of capability and responsibility you have attained. Consider this phenomenon, the sophistication shift, as a promotion within your own developmental journey. When you were starting out in your career or a new endeavor, your concerns might have revolved around mastering basic tasks, meeting deadlines, or simply understanding the lay of the land. Now, perhaps your anxieties center on leading a team, formulating long-term strategy, navigating complex interpersonal dynamics, or innovating within your field. These are not the problems of a novice. These are the burdens and privileges that accompany advancement. Your present-day challenges are not indictments of your inadequacy, they are acknowledgments of the advanced stage you now inhabit. The weight of these new responsibilities feels heavier precisely because you have climbed to an altitude where the air is thinner, the stakes are higher, and the required skill set is far more nuanced. This brings us to a pervasive pitfall, the comparison trap, an illusion that often magnifies our feelings of inadequacy when we are, in fact, growing. We live in an age of curated realities, where social media and public personas frequently showcase only the polished end results, the highlight reels, of others' lives and careers. It is all too easy to fall into the habit of measuring our own unedited, behind-the-scenes struggles, complete with all the doubts and missteps, against these carefully constructed facades of effortless success. We see their triumphant finish lines without witnessing their arduous race, their peak moments without the context of their valleys. This skewed perspective can be incredibly damaging to our self-perception, leading to feelings of envy, self-criticism, and a persistent sense that we are somehow falling short. But here is a crucial insight often missed in the throes of comparison. While you are scrutinizing their highlight reel, it is highly probable that others are viewing your achievements, your outward composure, your moments of apparent success, and drawing similar, often equally flawed, comparisons to themselves. It's a reciprocal cycle of misperception. Everyone is fighting their own unseen battles, navigating their own internal complexities, irrespective of the image they project. The others are always better. Illusion thrives in the absence of complete information. Therefore, the antidote to the comparison trap is not to cease observing others, but to fundamentally reframe how we engage with their journeys. Instead of using external achievements as a yardstick to diminish our own, we can choose to see them as sources of inspiration, as case studies for learning, or simply as affirmations of diverse paths to success. The most meaningful benchmark for your progress is not the person to your left or right, but the person you were yesterday, last month, last year. True growth is an internal game, a personal evolution. By understanding that increasingly complex challenges signify your ascent, and by consciously dismantling the illusion of effortless perfection in others, you liberate yourself to focus on your own unique and valid developmental path, appreciating the nuanced tapestry of your own advancing capabilities. Your focus shifts from what others appear to be to what you are demonstrably becoming. We have journeyed through the subtle deceptions of the mind, unearthed forgotten evidence of your advancement, and explored frameworks to illuminate your true trajectory. Now we arrive at the empowering culmination, the point where understanding transforms into actionable wisdom, where insight fuels intentional creation. The act of accurately recognizing your own progress is not an exercise in vanity. It is the bedrock of sustainable self-confidence, intrinsic motivation, and continued personal evolution. When you truly internalize how far you have come, how many challenges you have overcome, and how many skills you have mastered, you cultivate an unshakable belief in your capacity for future growth. This is the essence of what Dr. Carol Dweck terms a growth mindset. The conviction that your abilities are not fixed, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. Acknowledging past development is the most potent fuel for this vital mindset. To ensure this newfound clarity is not a fleeting revelation but a lasting perspective, it is crucial to integrate the habit of progress recognition into the fabric of your life. This is not a one-time audit, but an ongoing practice of self-awareness. Just as physical fitness requires consistent exercise, maintaining a clear view of your development demands regular, intentional check-ins. Whether it is a weekly review of your growth journal, a monthly reflection using the Realize framework, or periodic, in-depth conversations with a mentor or trusted peer, these rituals of self-assessment serve as your internal calibration system. They are the maintenance schedule for your inner compass, ensuring it remains accurate and responsive, guiding you forward with truth rather than doubt. Furthermore, do not underestimate the power of sharing your journey, your learnings, and yes, your wins, with those who genuinely support your growth. This not only reinforces your own understanding but also creates a supportive ecosystem that celebrates and encourages further development. Ultimately, understand this: you are the author of an extraordinary unfolding story. Every challenge you have navigated, every skill you have acquired, every insight you have gained are integral chapters in this unique narrative. The scars from past trials are not blemishes. They are badges of your resilience, testaments to your capacity to endure and learn. The capabilities you now possess are not accidental. They are the hard-earned dividends of your persistent effort and your innate human drive to learn and improve. You are, at this very moment, more capable, more knowledgeable, and more resilient than you were a year ago, perhaps even a month ago. And that, in itself, is a remarkable achievement. Therefore, my final invitation to you is this: make a commitment, starting today, to implement at least one concrete action from our exploration. Perhaps it is to begin that growth journal, to conduct your historical challenge inventory, or to schedule that conversation for objective feedback. Choose one small step and take it. Because you are demonstrably doing better than you think, and armed with this truth, you unlock new potentials, new ambitions, and a profound, unshakable sense of your own intrinsic worth. The journey of self-discovery is lifelong, and the joy of recognizing your own unfolding power is one of its greatest rewards. Embrace your progress, celebrate your journey, and continue to write the incredible story that is uniquely, undeniably yours.